Welcome to this week's Ask Us Anything. Or is it Ask Me Anything? How do we actually promote this each and every week? You're the promoter, girl.
Ask Me Anything is the AMA. It's what it stands for, but it's us.
It's us.
Two of us.
Ask me us anything.
That's right.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is one of the bros and one of the beauties on our team. Jadu here and Alyssa, and we're going to talk and walk you through how we're going to utilize loans from our policies for friends and family and to see who can make money.
That's right.
Okay, so that's what we're going to do. We appreciate you joining us inside our content library to help yourself understand how you can utilize policies for any financial needs that you need in your life and how practically it can be really helpful when we are stuck at home during these summer months.
Yeah.
With that, Alyssa, why don't you take it away?
Yeah.
Introduce us to, as Nelson would say, the problem.
The problem is I live in South Carolina, and if you know anything about the South, it's a little toasty. And during all hours of the day, so our AC went out, and one of the things that this is my beautiful home, one of the things we were looking at procuring was a loan because we didn't have the capital just sitting around. I didn't have it in my cash value, and we didn't have it in savings to pay for a new unit. So JD heard the need, and he said, hey.
Hold on. Well, let's talk more about this house. It's a lovely home, but why is it so hot in here? What else don't you have? Before we get into it, did you go into it knowing? Because you said you've been utilizing.
No.
Yeah, tell us about, because you were trying to explain it to me, and that's how I realized, because this opportunity looked at us in the face without either of us realizing it was about to come. So tell us, when did you get the home?
I bought the home 7 years ago. And my husband and I have been there for 5.
Okay.
And very shortly after I bought my home.
You've been there for 7. He's been there for 5.
He's been there for 5.
Yep.
Shortly after, I want to say within a month, the AC went out. And so
things got real hot immediately as soon as he moved in.
July, so it's August when the AC goes out. So I had one great month. And then it was done.
Okay.
So we've been using wall units. Which aren't exactly the best. They're not incredibly aesthetically beautiful. Oh, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
And they're not as efficient. So
you living in the hood.
Well, I mean, I grew up in the hood, so might as well just carry it on
through. Hey, remembering our roots.
Carry it on through.
See, people, we're still regular. Even though we're hashtag protect the wealthy, we can't tell you everything. We still remember our roots.
So, one of the reasons we got into this, why I left a career in software that I enjoyed, was because I saw such a fundamental need in our life to have an avenue, have a vehicle to create wealth. And so when through lots of discussions, I ended up here, and I'm so thankful for it, for situations such as this. So although we didn't come from generational wealth or didn't have a lot of wealth just sitting there, we're making steps
on our way.
We're making steps towards that. So enter in, 5 years of no AC. We got a baby on the way.
Yes, congratulations.
Got a baby on the way. So we said, ooh, time to stop roughing it. Time to upgrade. So
let me upgrade you. Okay.
So here we are.
All right. So so it's been out, and you've been using the swamp coolers, as we would have said back in the day.
Swamp coolers, that's a new one.
Swamp coolers?
I've never heard that before.
Well, it's a different type of, it's like the wall unit, the window unit, swamp cooler.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Okay,
I have never heard it called that, though. Continue.
Okay, you're making me think I'm misspeaking. Is swamp cooler a certain style or type or something?
Sounds accurate.
Okay,
for what is going on.
Swamp cooler. Well, because I think they had the water trays underneath.
I'm with you. I got you. Yeah.
Or something like that. Okay. So I heard you talking about this, and you were considering taking a third-party loan first. Yeah. So you started. We were talking in the office, and you were talking about HELOC. You're talking about maybe a bank loan. Tell us about the options that you were headed for at first.
Yeah, so the HELOC was an option. We didn't have one established, and if you've ever gotten one, it's kind of a lengthy process. So although that was an option, it wasn't the most ideal option because we were really looking for something to sooner rather than later.
Okay.
We've been waiting a long time.
Yeah.
The other option was procuring a loan through a third party. The interest rate was going to be super high. When I tell you, I mean like
It was like 17?
17%.
Now, who was it you were going
it
through
was going to be
potentially?
through who was doing the installation.
Oh, got it. Financing from the folks who are going to get the job
Yeah.
done. Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's definitely going to be higher than a
Understandable.
bank even.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
And so we hadn't gotten to, okay, do we go to a traditional bank? And, you know, I have in the small back of my brain, you know, like I know Dave Ramsey. It's never.
You don't borrow from third parties.
Yeah, you
don't borrow money.
Don't get debt. Don't get into debt. And so relearning a lot of what financial wisdom is.
Yeah.
And so QR conversation, and you heard it and you said, I got some cash value.
I was like, yeah, wait, look, what you do ooh, for my cash value, right?
That's
so that I didn't sing that, but we
But
do
you
sing
should
in the
have.
office because we share an office.
That's right.
So that's why I was the first to know. So yeah, I've had this policy. Let me talk about my side of the story
go
then.
for
So
it.
I've got a policy that I've had that's been in force for, I apologize, everyone. I want to say 2017. I'm not exactly sure. And it had cash value in there, and I'd actually never taken a loan from this particular policy. One of my businesses actually owns this.
Okay.
And I said, wait a minute, because I realized recently how much was in there. And I said, this money is not working for me.
Yeah.
It's available, and the opportunities come to the folks who've got the gold, right?
Yeah.
So whoever has the gold makes the rules, as well as the opportunities seek out people with money.
Right.
And I heard it, and that's really, it came true finally, right?
Yeah.
After having this policy for some odd years.
I'm glad I could make your dreams.
Yes, thank you. Thank you. And it's just a nightmare to have so much money and nothing to do with it.
I
So
know it.
in this policy particularly, I had, we're letting somebody else in here to join us on the live experience. Remember, we go live every once in a while. You might be seeing this in a recording, but we go live, and we'd love for you to join us out there. So welcome our next participant. So what I had was around $19,000 inside this policy that was liquid and available for cash value. So remember that when we take loans, we have cash value equity in our policy, and it can be used, loosed, or abused for anything we want. So the insurance company asks me no questions, no qualifying, no credit check, no paperwork.
Yeah.
All the things that you'd have to do at the bank.
That's right. I say to people, you're the king of the castle. You get to do what you want with it. And I'm so glad you chose to do this.
Oh, hey, me too. I'm glad that we could do it together. So we'll show you a little picture here, just in case you didn't think it was real. So we're going to pop that up on the screen out there. I think our audience can now see it. This is the check that I took. Now, Alyssa, what did you actually need, though? You asked me for about how much for the actual repair.
Yeah, so it was originally going to be $10K, but we ended up needing $8,500.
Yes. Okay. So I went to my favorite insurance company here, grabbed that for a loan, and they sent it right over. It was about within a week. I had this check. I asked for a physical check in this case, and I took how much she needed, was actually less the 10 grand you just saw, and gave it over to Alyssa and her hubs for their for the opportunity.
Yeah.
So what we're going to now show you and walk and talk you through is how this deal can work kind of practically, the payback schedule and format, the agreement you might go in with your friends, family, church, or charities on loaning them some money so their dreams can come true and your dreams can come true because I became the bank.
Yeah.
Now, first off, I'm not as crazy as the third party, but what was the credit check I put you through?
I had to do a few jumping jacks, make sure,
Of course,
things
right?
were going.
Toe touches.
I had to sing a few things.
You always have to sing things.
That's right.
I feel like that's...
We had the 2000s playlist on today.
Okay.
So that was a little bit of a prerequisite.
Okay. What else?
And I passed the vibe check.
And you passed the vibe check.
There we go.
Passed the vibe. That was it, ladies and gentlemen. Right? When you're able to do this and be the financier for your friends' opportunities, you get to pick.
Yeah.
You get to pick. And here's what I needed. Here was the collateral. Here's the guarantee that I needed, that we were friends and she was telling me the truth. That was it. She said she'd pay me back with interest, and that what was done was done. Sent the money right over to them. So let's now take a look at what I want to bring up next, ladies and gentlemen, is I had it out here. The amortization schedule. Do I have it? Oh, my contacts are a little fuzzy here. Appreciate that, Alyssa.
Got you.
Okay, so we're going to share that full screen with our friends out there. Okay, so here we go. Alyssa, now, if you do a deal with a friend like myself, what in the world are the terms?
Well, the terms that we agreed on was the time period in which I would have to pay this back and the interest rate. So that pretty much developed our table, our payment schedule. So obviously the principal balance was $8,500, and because that's what I borrowed, and we're doing a 10% interest rate, so it's a benefit to him, letting his money work for him. So I'm going to be paying that back in no more than 24 months. So broke that down for a monthly payment, and here we are.
Yeah, so what I was trying to get at there was actually a little bit simpler, just to help you guys understand that the terms were made up by us.
Oh,
yeah,
right.
Just made up.
Yeah.
The insurance company is not asking me any questions about a repayment schedule. I'm the banker here, and this is money that's owed to me anyway. The death benefit will always cover it. So these dollars can be out for as long as the insured body is alive, and it can be paid back anytime during that lifetime. And if it's not paid back, the death benefit will cover it. Okay, so here we go. Yep, so we came up with a 10%. We thought that'd be easy. I do all of the loans out of my policies at 10%. We coach and train people a lot of times. Look, if you're not looking for anything particular in your category instance that's different, or you need it to match some sort of loan rate at a third party, 10% works.
Yeah, easy.
10% works.
Yep.
Yeah, and it's easy math.
And it's not 17%.
And it's not 17.
Yeah.
Okay. And of course, what happens if you miss a payment?
Well, I passed the vibe check, so I think
Jumping jacks.
Jumping
jacks.
Well, that we didn't talk about that.
We're going to put it in the agreement. So let's take a look at that now, ladies and gentlemen. So we've got a mock-up on that agreement that we're going to sign actually right here with you guys. It's going to be virtual for our live audience, and then we're going to literally sign it after we get off here. So we just want to show you how real this is. Okay, so let me pull this up. Thanks for bearing with us out there. We're trying to go live for our Zoom audience and put it on the screen for our recorded audience in a way that you guys can all participate. Okay, so here's the note that we drew up. I took my company, put my company name in there. We got Alyssa Mills right here as the borrower. We put in some of the terms. We put in the dollar amount. We put in the form of payment. She's going to kick it back to me from Zelle, right? We talked about that, put it in paper. We said right here in this particular, in some cases in third parties, you can't pay off early without penalties or fees. We said, sure, you can pay off early, no problem.
Yeah.
And we've got our state, South Carolina, as the governing laws, and it's agreement contractual between two people. That's it. We don't have to worry about it, and of course, unless one of us wants to change material what's in here, or we don't actually fulfill, right? We don't fulfill the monthly recurring payments or whatever like that. So this is it. So we're going to be able to sign this, keep this on file, as we say, make sure that both of our tax situations coming up in the new year know that there's loans, there's interest being paid, and how that affects our tax situation. And that's all we need.
That's it.
Okay. While we're here, any questions for our audience? This is an Ask Me Anything live in July 2023. We've got two people who are live with us in this moment. So I want to make sure if they have anything they want to add or question, they can. Sometimes I may miss what they say or put in the chat. So, okay. So at this point, what I'd like to do is transition to something Nelson said specifically. We showed you an amortization schedule and a payback here, but we thought we'd bring in the man behind the method for just 1 second. I recently stumbled across this video where Nelson Nash himself is answering the questions about payback. One of his rules is don't steal the peas, meaning that you're going to be in trouble if you don't actually fulfill the loan repayment. Your loans need to be performing, AKA making you money, right? My loan, $8,500 of the $10,000 that I took is going out. It's going to be coming back with friends. Okay, loans with friends. It's going to be come back with 10%, but we want to make sure that that is something that you do. We do teach you to become your own banker, and a banker, no good banker would ever loan out dollars without expecting them to come back with interest. Now, before we play it, Alyssa, what do you want to say about this? You talk to a lot of people who are taking their first loans. And I think they probably ask you a lot of questions about when, what, how, should I even, maybe I won't. Like, what's your take on some of that?
Yeah, so I think a lot of it has to do with goals and like your understanding, your base level understanding of, are you at the point now where you're paying out debt or paying off debt? Like that's your main goal. Okay, let's talk about that and how you can use these loans to effectively do that. Is your goal like to let your money work for you, or do you know nothing about that? You just said, hey, this is a really great deal. I want to capitalize on this, but I don't really know. Right. And so those are the perspectives and those are the leading questions I'm going to ask so I can effectively coach and teach the people I work with so they can meet their goals, right? And then they're going to tell their friends and family because it's pretty awesome, right?
All right.
So they're going to meet their goals as well.
Love it. Okay, so let's see what Nelson had to say, and then let's wrap things up.
Nelson, I think maybe some viewers who have read your book might have a concern that at some parts, it seems like you're very stern about you need to pay off your policy loans, otherwise you're effectively stealing from the system. That would be like stealing the peas. You know, this is money you have to pay back. Don't treat loans from your banking system as different from an outside loan. But at other parts, in illustrations, for example, you have a person drawing what you call passive income, letting the policy loan balance accumulate, and they never pay it off. They end up dying with that big policy loan outstanding. And so that might cause somebody to be confused. Wait, which is it? Do I have to really knock these policy loans out right away, or you know, do I just let them roll? So can you explain?
My intent of the entire works, the two books that are written, is again to get people to think that there is no pat solution to this. There's no formula of any kind. We don't know what's out there in the future. We don't know what life is going to be like for you. But we do know one thing, that access to money is necessary, and it can be accomplished with this means. Yeah, you can be taking passive income from loans. The death benefit is going to pay that thing off no matter what. But trying to concentrate on, this is the formula here. If we follow this, we've got it made. That's not true. We don't know.
And it sort of comes back to the infinite and infinite banking concept. There's no one solution for people. They need to realize there's various.
Okay, a thought just occurred to me. Go back to Leonard. One of the books that he wrote, I'm in the book. And it was a conversation that he had sitting right over there. He sees that I'm going through instrument flight school here, so forth. And I was pointing out that the instructor isn't getting pushed out of shape if I get off course. Am I constantly correcting is what he's looking for. We don't know what's out there. Am I constantly correcting?
All right, thank you to Nelson for helping us understand the payback. So we're going to pull that amortization schedule back up here 1 second. So ladies and gentlemen, remember that Alyssa actually took from me a loan of $8,500. That's less than I actually pulled out. Originally, she thought she needed more, and I think you even got another discount before you even started the game, didn't you?
Crazy.
Because you're paying cash. So you got you told me that you even got another discount, but you still took 85 from me, and I'm cool with that because more is going to go back into my policy. So let's take a look at that again, everywhere that we are on screen and live. So I know it's not huge for everybody, but what you're seeing here, once again, is that when I take $8,500 or $10,000, but here we're showing her schedule of $8,500 out of cash value. We just went online, found an amortization schedule. 2 minutes later, we had this chart.
Yeah.
You're going to pay it back monthly, easy. and put it in the bank account. It's simple, right? Sometimes I think we overthink that part even because we have had loans with third parties and there's a lot of new things to log into and sign up for.
Sure.
Like, sure, I'll just Venmo you some cash, right? Okay, so here's the schedule. And what's going to happen, ladies and gentlemen, remember, is that when we take, I'll show the visuals here for anybody who can see us. But when we take dollars outside of our policy, and we've got those dollars. Let me take these out for a second. Okay, so this is what's going to happen. I'm going to borrow against my policy value, hand these dollars to Alyssa, and over time, she's going to pay me back. Now, all of the money that I borrowed, $8,500, goes back where it came from. My money is still compounding and growing. First off. So the dollars that I've contributed into this policy for the last 5, 6, 7 years, whatever it's been, are still here, first off, and still guaranteed to grow and cash flow.
Yeah.
Even though we've got a loan out against it. Okay. So these dollars are going to get bigger. My dividends are still going to pay every year. We're using a mutual company and my dollars are still here. But I ran out of hands. So what's going to happen now is she's going to pay me back over time. We're going to get all $8,500 back. Okay, but I charged her extra. I charged her interest. So some of her money that she works hard for and her husband works hard for is also going to come with it. And this is not going to be regular loan repayment money. This is now my money. You're going to hand me this money, and I'm going to get this money inside premium, specifically paid up additions. Yeah. So it's going to be growing on top of the premium that I've committed to. I already committed to a regular premium I paid this one monthly, every month, but this is going to now be extra. But every dollar that goes inside premium of whole life insurance from a mutual company is going to grow the policy bigger.
That's right.
So I'm going to win. She had a deal. She was able to get it no hassle. She can pay it back on the terms we agree on, and I'm going to be able to have a healthier policy because more dollars went in. When they go in Cup 1 premium, it's just going to make this bad boy bigger. And cash value, of course, is just the net present value. It is the equity of the total. Now it's going to be gaining and growing forever. It's going to earn me more dividends based on what I've given to the company now each and every year.
Yeah.
So these dollars, these loans, when they are performing, ladies and gentlemen, remember that's how the bank makes money. So do not be afraid to get some loans out and to ask for some interest back. That's how your bank on the corner by CVS works. That's how your bank should work as well. Anything you want to add on that?
No, I mean, so because we got an even better deal, I still obtained that $8,500 from you. And so I said, okay, Brian and I talked, that's my husband, and I said, hey, why don't we try to make this money work for us? So I have additional room, PUA room in my policy. So any extra that I have left over, I'm actually going to put into my policy, and I'm going to use some of that to continue making payments to
Got it.
JJ.
So hold on. To be clear here, you didn't need all $8,500 I gave you?
It came down to it. I didn't need it.
And you still took it.
I still took it. Well, it was already, I learned that after I took it. So I was like, well, the loan's here.
So you put it in your own policies.
I did.
Love it. And that's going to grow forever.
That's right.
Okay.
So
Very
I'm
good.
making money, you're making money.
Hey, everybody wins here, ladies and gentlemen. So winning with friends, loans with friends. Okay, it's a new game. We got an app coming out. All right. If you want to have a conversation with either of us, especially Alyssa, about how you can now get your policies growing and flowing with loans coming in and out, we're going to leave that information somewhere. This is probably going to be inside our community here for a recording. So I don't know exactly where we'd put that link. But of course, you can always reach out to us for a free consultation. Or if you already have one of your own favorite coaches in our community, go back to them and say, hey, I watched these two talk about a loan going out to a friend. I want to talk to you about doing that with my policy and coaching me through that as well. Absolutely. We'd love to help. Any questions out there from our live audience? Any thoughts or concerns? This is recorded on a standard Thursday Ask Me Anything, 4 p.m. Eastern is what we've been doing throughout the spring and summer of 2023. So I want to make sure that our online live community has an opportunity for questions or concerns. Anything at all. Okay, we got a thank you out there. Hopefully that was helpful for you. I know this person in particular came in a few minutes late. And so anything else you'd like us to clarify? This is the actual use of the banking system. So many people have questions about the product. And we weren't here talking about the product. We were here talking about using the product for the process of banking. Solving your financial needs without giving up a bunch of interest to third parties and keeping it, in this case, in the friend zone.
In the friend zone. And having that control is really important.
Yeah. Okay. With that, ladies and gentlemen, we hope you join us on a future live event. Remember, we've got the Cash Compound course library waiting for you. There's always free consultations with our coaches around here. And every single Friday, we drop a new podcast episode. So check us out at The Banking Bros and the Cash Compound, wherever you like to get and consume your media out there. We'll talk to you again soon. Bye now.
See ya.
Record.